Hi everyone. I've had some questions about the Aftermath Dark seminar that's coming up. I'm aiming to have this in the middle of the year, and it's subtly different than a lot of the Aftermaths I've done before. As you know, I'm very big on combat articulation, combat instances, and situations whereby you as an individual not only have to have an appropriate physical response, but have to have the ability to say why you did that physical response. Traditionally, this has been around the self-defense realm, or, this person engaged in these behaviors, this was the pattern they displayed. Aftermath Dark is something that's very different, and it's something that's not something I've made public before. One of the reasons for this is the nature of the material. It's very, very sensitive. Aftermath itself deals with self-protection, self-defense, which statistically is relatively uncommon, but along the same lines as a fire extinguisher or a safety belt, it's one of those things that's nice to have and not need, and need and not have. Similarly, Aftermath is designed to be generic across the board, so the same principles and tactics that you would apply as a child, you would apply as a woman shopping, as a man coming out of swimming baths, as someone going away to work, someone traveling to a sports event, a pub after dark, whatever it happens to be, all these situations, different genders, different whatever it happens to be, there's be a different trigger point for what may or may not necessitate a physical response, and a different articulation piece to then go along with that. With Aftermath Dark, what we're dealing with specifically is lethal force response options to lethal force threats. As a result of that, I have to know the people very well. It doesn't mean intimately, obviously, but what that does mean is I have to work with you before, train with you before, or have some idea about your background. Now, if that's law enforcement, that's fine, that's one thing. If that means you train with me as one of the war dogs in the Havoc Pack, that's good too. If someone recommends you, I will even take that. One thing I can't do, simply due to the nature of the material being presented, is have any minors there. And so this is going to be adults only, 18 plus. The reason for this is very, very straightforward. This is not pleasant material. This is not nice material. This is low percentage stuff for those situations where you've had to make the ultimate decision on an action you've taken and the articulation and justification piece that comes there afterwards. The hope is we can avoid these situations in the first place, and that will also be covered within the course. But in addition to that, it will teach manners in which someone can be dealt with if they're providing a lethal force, what your options are, the thresholds, and how we can then explain why we did what we did afterwards. It's going to be intense. It'll be a little emotional at times as well, because it'll be going deep into the psyche, but it's something that's tremendously worthwhile. And in my experience, 20 years plus in law enforcement, this is something I've drawn on heavily in my own mental preparation and the training I've done over the years. So that's just a little snapshot of what Aftermath Dark means. I hope that I'll see you out there. Take care now.